Into the game. Okay, so here we have Champion Ocean versus Twinkle and the Kerfuffles. Let me know if the music is too loud, as I can definitely change that. First band we have Vi against. So Deddy should be the one jungling this game. Unfortunately, we have a sub for Len because Len fell asleep. Unsure exactly what's happening there, but red side bans Ornn against Joe as this is his most comfortable top laner, and Set gets banned for some reason. Jake's the one playing top lane for red side in this series, at least for game one. Maybe we can find Len for game two. People make fun of Johnny being a Ziggs one trick, so it's a little bit funny to see it banned against him. But it is a nice long range mage that could also be played bot lane. I can't recall if I've seen Vendetta play Ziggs bot. I've seen him play Veigar, but not a terrible ban, as it's hard to play against those long range poke mages. Malphite banned. It's just nice engage. Again, I'm a little bit confused about the set. I would have expected after they banned the Vi that they'd be targeting Deddy a lot more heavily, but instead they banned two top laners and first pick the Nocturne, as that is another champ that Deddy likes playing, but Moxian also likes playing it, so first picking it away makes a lot of sense, especially after they banned the Viego. And now curious to see what they respond with. It should be AD and jungle here, and so there's the Caitlyn. Caitlyn's a good takeaway from Michael. And there's a no hover. That is a nice bug. The Caitlyn is eventually picked away, taking away his most comfortable pick. And Lexi is quite comfortable on that pick as well. She has a lot of different champs that she plays, very randomly, like Zeri. But this is definitely comfort and a good takeaway. Both sides taking away champs. Rammus hover this early does not make a lot of sense, since blue side could easily go a lot of AP and counter the Rammus. Amendment makes a lot more. Oh. Well, okay, they actually end up locking in the Rammus. The Rammus could definitely be flexed in different roles. I've seen it played top, I've seen it play jungle, I've seen it play support. Technically, I've seen it played mid as well, but I find it highly unlikely that that's where it's going to go. It should be going mid lane this series. It'd be very funny to play it into the Mel, though, as the Mel would absolutely destroy it. But not terrible ganking into that very immobile lane. And the Mel could be played bot lane as well, but I'm unsure what Johnny would end up playing mid lane if they're going to put the Mel bot. So at this point in time, I would assume it is a mid Mel. And Sion top, they're picking top lane here just to ensure that Joe's pool doesn't get pinched too heavily, as they really want to make sure that he's on these nice, tanky, engaged champs. And Sion absolutely fits that mold. Kale locked into the Sion. Both of these champs scale relatively well. Kale is very good into the Sion because of that, as the Sion's not going to be too oppressive early, as that's the weakest point of Kale's essentially entire existence, and has a lot of carry potential. So at this point in time, just frontliners or champs that can enable the Caitlyn and Kale are what really going to be as beneficial as possible. Banning away the Lysandre makes a lot of sense, as right now they don't have a lot of good engage or CC to prevent the Nocturne and Sion from being able to access the backline. And Xerath banned away as well, as that nice long-range artillery mage would be quite annoying to deal with, as they already have pretty decent range with the Mel. The Nocturne and Sion looking for more hard engage, but Mel can play at a decent range to still have the ability to output damage, even though she's not really a frontliner. Orianna banned as well. So it seems that they do believe that the Mel is going to be played bot lane this series. Mel into the Caitlyn is going to be pretty good at matching the range. AP champs are pretty much the only champs that can really match Caitlyn range outside of Things like Twitch ult, Tristana passive, Cogna W, Jinx, Jinx with the rockets, as well as people think of Jhin as a counter because he has pretty decent range with his W and his ult, as well as I would say Varus. Lethality Varus would be pretty decent into the Caitlyn, as he doesn't need to walk up to auto attack, and his auto attack range is already pretty decent at I believe 575. Caitlyn's is I think 625, so she does outrange him, but not when considering abilities, as that's where the lethality Varus would really excel into that specific matchup. Locking in the Morgana into the Rammus Kayle Nami is pretty nice, being able to stop that. Probably would be used on the Nocturne to enable him to access the backline without getting interrupted, but has the ability to just ensure that their entire team is relatively safe. And so it is going to be Mel bot lane, Mel Morgana bot lane, very, very safe bot lane, going to be very stable, very hard for the Rammus to ever gank it, as Rammus pretty much walks in a straight line and it doesn't have a lot of creativity to his ganks. But instead we're going to see Syndra Morgana bot lane. I don't think I've ever seen Vendetta play Syndra before, so that is definitely interesting. And so then the Ahri is going to be locked in. Ahri is going to be providing a little bit better engage, as right now their only forms of engage were the Nami Q, Nami ult, as well as a random Kate trap, which blue side would have to be walking through. So right now, red side incredibly squishy, while blue side is a much stronger front line, as the Nocturne should be building a little bit more bruisery, while the Sion is going to be building full tank, and they have 3 mages sitting behind them. So if the Nocturne is weakened and attacked enough early, so where he's behind significantly and put into a weakened state, then red side should be able to itemize heavily into magic resist. It used to hurt Rammus a lot more in the past to itemize magic resist, as he just didn't really benefit from it, and he still doesn't really benefit a lot from it, but he can build magic resist, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, this is the problem with picking a Rammus this early in the draft. They picked it only seeing the Nocturne. It allows blue side to lock in primarily magic damage champs, which again is not exactly what Rammus wants to be building or playing against. So we got a little bit of time. It seems like that I'm the only person streaming right now, so not a lot of people are around. Unfortunately, it's a Friday night. People are enjoying themselves. In terms of team comps, I think blue sides is quite easier to play. Their damage is very easy to get off. That's the big benefit of playing an AP champ, while Caitlyn and Kayle have to walk up to actually auto attack. And so if the Kayle is able to get ahead or position correctly and scale into the late game, then I definitely see her as a win condition for red side. But being able to get to that position and not have to being able to deal with all the different tools that blue side have is going to be quite a challenge. Oh man, Lightning Canadians 2-2, end of second. My goodness. That's what we should be watching. But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how these junglers decide to play out this specific game, as Rammus, I imagine, is going to be a lot stronger early, as Nocturne is really relying on his ult. But of course, he needs to be able to get there. So Rammus pre-6 should be ganking a lot. Even if he goes down a little bit in CS, it's not the end of the world, as he's just a tank, and so more gold on him just means that he's going to be a little bit tankier, while Nocturne is a little bit more reliant on having good econ, as he's trying to burst champs like the Nami, the Ahri, the Caitlyn. Kayle's going to be quite hard for him to ult into, because the Kayle's going to have her ult to respond. And that's not necessarily going to be his job, as blue side can play incredibly slow. So as long as Nocturne can hold his trigger, might be too trigger happy, then I see these team fights going very slow in favor of blue side. Especially in lanes. top side, Sion should be favored. Mid. Mid is actually an insufferable lane. Ahri into Mel. Mel has a very, very easy time playing into the Ahri. Fuck sakes. I'm trying to move it so it perfectly fits, but being a pain in the ass. That looks good. Alright, perfect. Let's set this up real quick. Everything's in order. And we're good.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Sion starting Cole, as he's gonna have a relatively easy lane. It's interesting seeing the Kayle went Ghost. This game is just gonna have TP for free. It just ensures that she's a little bit safer for these Nocturne ganks. And her position in these team fights late in the game are going to be incredibly important. Additionally, there's the mismatch in mid lane where the Syndra has Ghost while Ahri has TP, making side laning a little bit better for red side, as they already had pretty decent side laning with the Kayle into the Sion. As the game progresses, that Kayle should have a beneficial lane, as long as she's in a good position. While the Syndra's incredibly immobile and can certainly be punished by the Rammus as the game progresses in side lanes. And there is a bit of a mismatch in terms of how the junglers are going to be pathing this game. So the Rammus is going to be pathing bot to top, pathing for that Kayle, knowing that that is his true win con this game. The Caitlyn can definitely has potency in team fights, but the Kayle is certainly their late game insurance, as Morgana hits a nice Q onto the Nami while the Nami hits a nice bubble, and a good trade from the Caitlyn onto the Mel. The biggest strength around AD carries over AP champs is their early game, as AP champs are a lot more burst focused, and when they don't have the CDR, they don't have the ability power. He's down 3 CS already. He's already cooking his ass in all chat. Love to see it. Love to see the banter. Yeah, the biggest strength around AD carries when playing against AP champs is that early game, because again, they're burst focused, they need to cycle through their cooldowns, and when they don't have these important stats, then early game, it's a lot harder for them to trade. So if the Mel misses her Q, misses her E, then Caitlyn just gets a walk at the Mel for free, as Caitlyn's abilities do matter, as you should be considering when they are up and when they are down to punish, but you can always auto-attack as well. Oh my. We got some time. It seems like time is nothing we are never short of in this series, as it took a while to actually start it, as Len is likely sleeping. It's now Jake is subbing in. I'm just glad that after last series, everyone watching enjoyed or Freshie was vocal about it, saying that he enjoyed the music and it was very chill, and it is very chill. It's very nice, but we are unpaused. Yeah, it's very awkward just sitting here with my thoughts. And there's the pause to actually catch up. I don't know why, but some of the times we've been live parallel to the actual time, but recently all the series has been off by a little bit. There's been that delay. Don't know what's causing that. Nice keep from the Caitlyn onto the board. Good punish. Would really like to see this Nami and Caitlyn play a little bit more aggressive into this lane. As again, biggest strength about the AD carry into the AP champ matchup is early game. And punishing them as much as they possibly can early is how you actually get that lead. As Kale's looking to freeze right now. Gonna be taking a lot of minions though. Nice Morgana Q onto the Nami. Another good trade. Souther's going to be trying to flank them. Rammus went for an interesting gank early, so it's going to be done quite a bit. As the Nocturne's just going to look for something under the Nami, the Nami's going to flash away, but she's able to barely get out, and the Caitlyn EQ to get away. Good trading from the Ahri onto the Syndra. Oh, I realized that Johnny is the Mel playing bot lane while Vendetta is the Syndra playing mid lane. Huh. Good gank by the Rammus looking for something out of the Scion. The Scion should have known that the Rammus was actually going to be on the top side of the map as the Nocturne was on the bot side. Oh, and Rammus is the one who's going to end up taking that kill. He barely didn't kill that kill. The kill ended up popping her ghost to ensure that she didn't fall. But getting that Scion flash is quite nice. Now you gotta wonder, if the Silent didn't start Cole and started something that had HP in it, would he have lived there? Or would he have at least traded for the kill onto the Kale? Very likely. Rammus hovering around the top side of mid, but his camps are going to be a little bit delayed. Mel and Morgana get nice trade onto the Caitlyn, and the Caitlyn has to blow both sums there. The Rammus is going to try and get a kill into the Syndra, but doesn't have the damage quite yet, and so it's going to be a bit of wasted time. Pretty much all of his camps have respawned for their second respawn, so it's going to be quite late as the Nocturne is very close to finishing his second clear. All while the Kale has finally returned to lane, catching her wave, and Kalen's trying to catch whatever she can under this turret here, while the Mel and Morgana are threatening a kill onto her. Oh, I should post what playlist you're listening to in the stream. That's for VOD reviewers. And the Rammus is looking for a gank out of the Mel, and Ahri's there. Gets a good chunk off onto the Nocturne Mel, but not going to be able to achieve much. It does have a second ult charge and a third. He wants to keep going. Nice Morgana Q as well as the Mel E onto that Rammus, so he's not going to be able to get much further. And the Nocturne's just barely able to get away after blowing his flash. But the Syndra able to crash that wave into the turret. Ahri is already down 12 CS. Nice Morgana Q onto the Caitlyn. The Caitlyn's chunked out, and she does fall. But instead, the Ahri is able to get that kill off into the Mel. Rammus is going to speed his way to his death as the Syndra ult is going to execute him. RE is a little bit wide onto the Syndra. The Syndra's looking for a kill here. The E is a little bit wide. Not very well played. And Ahri's able to get out of there. Oh, the Syndra eat a little bit too early. If he just waited for his W to come down, then he likely would have gotten a kill there, or at least blown Ahri's flash. So a bit unfortunate. -1. Kale's still CSing pretty well. Again, the Rammus is quite far behind, as he's not been cycling his camps as efficiently as he should have been. Wasted a lot of time on the map early, looking for that level 3 gank early onto the Ahri, as well as the second gank follow-up, trying to kill the Syndra while she was very low. And so he's going to be quite far behind the Nocturne already. Is able to complete his Bramble Vest, which Rammus players do like getting early, but is not... probably not the most important item he could have purchased this game, as the Merc Treads is really what's going to be incredibly important for him to actually be able to really enter team fights, as the Syndra misses her E and the Ahri misses her E. Ahri no boots, but the Syndra has Swifties already. Namiki a little bit short, and then Syndra gets a nice stun off into the Ahri. The Ahri charm was dodged. Now that the Mel has lost chapter, they're going to be a lot more oppressive in this lane. As resource management is going to be something of a thing of the past, as Mel can more or less spam her abilities trying to chunk down this Caitlyn and Nami. The only thing he really has to be worrying about is potential Rammus ganks. But again, Rammus is still finishing his clear top side. Cinder hits another E onto the Ahri. The Ahri charm goes wide again. And here comes the Nocturne ult onto the Caitlyn, and Nami pops heal and ult, but Morgana Q into the Mel E ensures Caitlyn's life is done and dusted, as Cinder keeps getting some nice poke onto the Ahri. Not a lot of damage right now, but getting some good trades ensures that Cinder's able to stack quite nicely and have total control over mid lane, which enables her jungler to play very heavily towards these objectives. As it looks like we're going to see a trade of grubs for red side for the first drag of the game. Good movement by the Nami, as well as good trade from the Ahri, but Ahri pops ult thinking that the Syndra might have killed her there, and there definitely was a chance. It's better safe than sorry, but also going to mean that this Syndra's going to be a bit safer than she's necessary should be. Narrowly avoiding that Scion Q. Kale just looking for a reset here. That's about 1100. Should be able to build a recurve bow and maybe an amp tome. 450, 850. Yeah. Nice Q from the Morgana onto the Caitlyn. Should just be able to walk away from this Rammus, as that magic spell shield is quite nice. The R is going to try flashing away, but still going to fall. And that's all because she blew her ults earlier. Good damage to the Mellow onto the Caitlyn, but the Rammus is still here. Is able to take the Caitlyn down right before the Rammus is able to get that drop off on her. So I'm just going to try and walk it out, as that Morgana spell shield also going to ensure that she has no chance of ever dying and takes the Nami down. It's a bit of an unfortunate turn of events. Jake's trying to run away from this Scion, as it looks like he still was not able to get his reset off yet. He should be narrowing in on his quest, which would allow him to TP back as he started Ghost in this lane. And really wants to make sure that he gets as much XP as possible to ensure that he's getting 16 as soon as possible. Level 11 is the most important one to get to. And Ahri blows ult again. She likely could have easily just walked out of there, but again, the blown ult is going to make her very susceptible to another gank by the Nocturne, especially now that she still doesn't have her flash up. Rammus is here, but the Kayle doesn't have the mana to play for this fight. So Rammus again is just wasting a little bit of time. The Nocturne is pathing up here. He's just going to be playing for the top crab and then going to cycle his camps yet again. That's unfortunate. Another really nice Morgana Q onto the Nami. And Syndra's just going to blow ult to ensure that the Nocturne's able to kill with his ult. And yet again, you can't be wasting your ult as Ahri like that, especially when you don't have boots. Or fully upgraded boots. Good damage on the Mela onto the Kayle, and they take her down. Things going from bad to worse. As this lane, again, the only real chance they had in it was to punish the Mel Morgana early, as the Rammus was never really going to be able to bail them out unless it was in response to a Nocturne gank. And the weakest point for this Mel Morgana lane is that early game, which they didn't punish nearly enough. This Morgana can't miss. But no Morgana Q means that the Rammus is just able to walk forward on the Morgana, and the Martyr's going to flash away, all while the Mel is taking down the Nami, and the Morgana gets taunted by the Rammus. Eventually should get taken down. Kayle ult popped, but it's going to be blocked by the Nocturne, but Ahri is still able to secure that kill. The Ahri essentially ults melee range into the Nocturne, but gets taken down by the Syndra, and Mel didn't realize that those two were nearby, as the Syndra's looking for something under the Caitlyn, potentially going to be able to WE, but W goes a little bit wide, and the Rammus is going to taunt the Syndra. Caitlyn pops Q and barrier. Decent chunk of damage off of the Syndra, but she's just able to walk away. Maybe he's still looking for something more. A bit greedy. Pops Ghost to ensure that she's not going to get caught out, but walks into the bush just randomly. Mel takes that kill. Does have to blow her flash. Yeah, blind walking into that bush into a Rammus, potentially Caitlyn, is not the smartest thing in the world, but Rammus able to trade that kill by popping his ult, and the Morgana ult's going to hold him down for a little bit, but the Nami ult ensures that he's able to get away. Quite strange decision making from the Syndra there. Could it lead to a drag for red side? Potentially. Morgana's going to try and prevent that from happening, but the Nocturne is on the top side of the map, and Caitlyn now down here. Kayle does have Ghost and Flash if he decides it's necessary. Should have pressed ult, but it presses ult right then and there. Sion ult's going to prevent her from being able to move, and so she does get taken down. The Morgana doesn't have Flash here, so pops healed to try and get away from them, and is able to do so. Very unfortunate for that Kayle there. And the Ahri gets hit by everything, gets taken down by the Syndra. While the Sion takes down the second turret of the game, as bot lane's turret was already taken down from red side. And Syndra takes down mid turret. So all turrets, all tier 1 turrets falling. This early in the game is not a good look, as blue side is up about 6,500 gold. Red side scaling is pretty much just the Kayle, as this Caitlyn is so far behind, it's going to be quite hard for her to get a position where she's able to carry team fights. She can certainly output damage as the game progresses, but the damage that her team needs her to output is never going to be there. Oh, all of Ari blew her load and the Mel blocked it with just her W. And now Ari ult is down again. That means the Nocturne can easily gank her again, but the Ari does have her flash up this time. But getting her to blow her flash from just a Nocturne ult would be fantastic as the Rammus ult into the center, but the center is going to send him packing. And just that interaction shows how hard it is to pick Rammus this early in draft. Sounds like her an ult on the Caitlyn. It does get her flash. Just gonna walk straight past her, and her auto attack was not even able to break a quarter of his shield. So now Kayle just trying to absorb as much CS as she possibly can. The Syndra gets a nice stun off into the Ahri. The Ahri is barely able to survive it, all thanks to her Merc treads that she has. Oh, Nocturne looking for a gank onto the Kayle. The Kayle does have ult, flashes forward onto the middle, does secure that kill, looking for something onto the Morgana, and now we're looking for something onto the Nocturne. The Nocturne is all alone, but there's a Syndra right behind. Stuns the Rammus to ensure that he's not able to get further onto the Nocturne, but the Nocturne is barely able to get away, as he's able to avoid that Nami bubble very, very importantly. And the Scion steps into a Caitlyn trap. The Kale's right over the wall looking for a kill into the Syndra. They are not in Kansas anymore. They're not where they want to be at all. Syndra flashing over the wall is incredibly strange, as she's likely going to die soon afterwards, dying to that turret. And it's going to take them a while to actually take down this Scion, but he does fall. Now the Kale's just going to be walking up there. Should know that the Syndra is here. Syndra's just looking for a trade kill. And the Ahri ended up having to flash away from the Scion pass, not realizing that he was right around the corner. And really good team fight by red side. The Kayle just playing incredibly aggressive, knowing her limits and forcing the Mel to just get taken down. A lot of gold going into the Kayle. Kayle picking up her second item of the game so far. And unfortunately for red side, the magic resist on blue side is going to get more significant. I'd really like to see Merc treads out of the Nocturne, as the pretty much all of red side's damage is magical damage. The only physical damage they have is that Caitlyn, and she is quite far behind already. So again, it's going to be quite hard for her to influence team fights. Ahri very far forward in the side lane, but she does have her ult. So just gonna pop that to ensure the Nocturne's not able to take her down. So trade of ults. If the Ahri had Malignance, I would have said that wouldn't have been a terrible trade, since Nocturne has his ult reduced by experimental hexplate. But Ahri does not have that to match. So there should be a little bit of a discrepancy in terms of cooldown. 79.47 and 67.25. So there's that 12-second window where if they try to force it off cooldown, the Nocturne can easily punish the Ahri because she will have both the ult and the flash down at the same time. If the Ahri had Malignance, there would have been a lot more of an overlap. And in this game specifically, she is just engaged. She's not really there to really do that much damage, as they get a nice engage off into this Syndra. The Namiki was a little bit short onto the stunned Syndra, but unfortunately they're too late, as Boo said, was able to secure that Dragon Ram. Rammus is going to get found out by this Scion. Scion incredibly tanky with that, with his own shield as well as the Morgana spell shield. Nice charm off to the Nocturne, and the Nocturne's going to get quite low. Rammus lower though. So a trade of Nocturne Flash for Rammus Flash. Interesting seeing the Kayle build another blasting one. I'm curious to see what he's building into next. It's pretty standard to go Rabadons at this point as Kayle. But I guess we'll see. It is also possible that he just didn't have enough to build a needlessly large rod on reset, so he just had to just get a purchase off. And it looks like the Nocturne is just building as much ultimate haste as he possibly can get. Cinder keeps hitting all these QEs onto the Ahri. Sion's gonna ult away from the Rammus to ensure that he doesn't get stun locked. And Cinder at 115 stacks. I believe it caps out at 120 at 120. So she's on great pace to be an absolute menace. And she already is an absolute menace. Ooh, Ahri's building 2 Lost Chapter items. Itemizing a lot into mana. Oh, Nocturne jumps the Ahri. She gets blown up before she can even pop her ult. Cinder popped Ghost for some reason. For the love of the game, I suppose. Nice Morgana Q. After playing with I swear the one thing he is so good at is hitting skill shots, like Morgana Q and Nami Q. Ram is looking for something onto the Nocturne, does taunt him under the turret, doesn't have flash there. Unfortunately, the Nami's the one who's going to be able to pick up that kill. The Cinder's going to flash away from the Nami Q. And the Caitlyn is walking into this melt. Nice McHale's to immediately break that CC from the Mel as a flash. Nami bubble onto Morgana is going to make Rammus capable of actually killing this Morgana, and the Morgana gets to get taken down, but the Rammus is the one who's going to steal it away from the Caitlyn. The Caitlyn ult would have ensured that kill. The Ahri's looking for something under the Cinder, is able to hit most of her abilities, but Cinder is dodging quite a few of them. The Sion is going to be quite menace as the Ahri eventually takes down the Syndra. And now it's going to take them a while to kill this Sion, but eventually they should be able to take him down. That actually makes sense now that I think about this. So the Kayle is going to be building Void Staff third, since they are building a lot of magic resist on blue side. Red side really punishing blue side's overconfidence and overcommitment to these plays that are long dead. It's a good idea from the Nami bubble, but the Mel W now being on cooldown enables the Kayle to jump forward. Kayle pops ult just to ensure that she's not going to be able to take that much damage, but unfortunately her backline is going to get absolutely obliterated by the Nocturne, and Caitlyn and Nami fall in exchange for the Mel. All while the Ahri on side is able to get the bot tier 1 for red side. Kayle should be close if she doesn't have Void, and she does. Now she'll be building towards that Rabadon's, or potentially even looking to build a Shadow Flame of her own. Kayle 4 or 5 items is really the breaking point that red side needs to be able to be quite competitive in team fights going forward. If they can bait the Nocturne to pull the trigger a little bit too soon before the rest of the team is in range. Rammus is blindly walking into the Nocturne. Morgana in Mel and gets punished. Has to blow his ult, but Mel ult secures that kill and gives the dragon over to blue side. It likely would have gone over to them anyways, but blindly running into blue side's jungle for no reason is not what you should be looking for. Bigger question is, can blue side force Baron? Oh. This is not it. New playlist, because the other one ran out. So now Ram is able to respawn. So blue side wasn't going to pull the trigger. They didn't think they had enough time, and it was a lot safer to just take their time. As right now they are certainly in the driver's seat, but the gold lead has shrunk quite a significant portion. They are up 3 dragons to 1, which is a significant metric. But Syndra doesn't have TP here. And so the moment she's shown on the bot side of the map, red side should be looking to pull the trigger on something. They've shoved in mid. The Mel is spotted here by the Rammus. Definitely going to look for something there since the Rammus did have flash and Mel blew her E. Kale's just trying to farm up as much as she possibly can. CSing quite a lot as it looks like the Caitlyn and Ahri are suffering a little bit because of that. But again, Kale is their win con for sure. Ahri's going to have to pop her ult in exchange for that Scion ult. Syndra pushing in mid lane, and bot lane is pushing in for blue side. Kale looking for something onto the Scion. The Scion gets charmed by that Ahri ult. Doesn't have flash here. Nice bubble onto the Scion, as well as a Kate trap to soon follow it up. Good kill. Onto the front line of blue side. Ram is looking for something onto the center, but just walking straight up into the center is not what you really want to do. As he's going to get feared, but going to buffer it by pressing his ult. Just walking it down. The Kale's going to be looking for a kill onto the Morgana, and she gets absolutely obliterated. The Kale pops Ghost here. It does get rooted by that Mel E. So another really good pick by the Kale. Looking for something out of the Syndra. The Syndra's in a little bit of an unfortunate position. Ahri doesn't have ult quite yet. The charm just a little bit short. As that charm would have been quite nice. Kale looking for this kill into the turret. Now we're looking for something out of the Syndra. The Syndra pops Ghost. Really good positioning from red side. Kale getting closer and closer to her 4th item. Just power farming as much as she possibly can. And Ahri catching bot. Still, blue side is about a 3k gold lead. Oh my goodness, the league client is dying. Yeah, oh my god. Give me a second. You didn't see that, hopefully. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Okay, back to 30 FPS. Silently we have something under the R. The other is going to pop her charm to ensure that she's able to get away from the Scion, and we're getting some good chunk off onto the Scion. Kate at 3 items is quite strong. The Kale's flanking from behind, flashes forward onto the Syndra after the Syndra popped her flash. The Noctis looking for something under this Kale, but doesn't realize the Kale has her ult still, and so he's going to flash away as well. And now, what does red side decide to do? Kale has 4 items. The Rammus is running into the Mel. Does get rooted, but still has his Q up. And so it should be able to get this taunt off, and Kale should be able to take him down. Kale getting a little bit low. Does have some healing from her own kit, as well as Nami's W. Do they look to threaten inhibs here? They could certainly look for something out of the Scion here, as the Rammus is a decent form of engage into that Scion. Noctis just trying to push out mid lane so that they can't get anything mid as well. Deciding more or less to give this turret. Morgana should be looking for a Q here onto the Rammus and is able to get that down as a nice stun onto the Ahri and Rammus as the Kale pops ult. Running forward and is able to take down the Syndra Morg and the Scion. Way too aggressive from that Syndra and Morgana there. Very poor positioning. And likely will be the game for red side. As Mel's trying to do as much as he possibly can, the Caitlyn gets taken down. The Noctis looking for something onto the Ahri, as that will be his last victim, as Kale gets a nice trade kill and a damn near 1v9 carry by the Kale. Very well played. Red side had a lot of really good engage. A really good engage by the other members of red side. Don't let the boys scale. And we'll be swapping sides. Let me change this. Yeah. It should have been pretty clear from the start, as I'm pretty sure I voiced it in draft, that red side's definitely their win condition was certainly the Kale. The Kaling could definitely output pretty decent damage in the mid to late game, but in terms of scaling, no one matches the Kale this game. Syndra's got pretty decent scaling, but Mike's positioning throughout the game was very, very bad, and he just overchased for no reason, giving red side away back into the game when they were down about like 8,000 gold, something along those lines. So not understanding win conditions is a really important thing when trying to close out games or just when starting games. So focusing on the opponent's win conditions in this next game should make it a lot clearer where jungler should be pathing. If I speak, I'm in big trouble, Josh. Well, you did good. You had good engages. As jumping forward allowed the Kale to get off good DPS as they had to focus you more. Bad things, though. There are a couple times where you used your ult when you weren't really in threat of dying, and that allowed you to get ganked in the future and get easily punished. Uh, your CSing's not great, as positioning around the map was problematic. A lot of that has to do with blowing your ult at improper times. But your job that game was to enable your carries by providing a good form of engage. So it's good you did that. You did your job. Mike was hiding that game? Yeah, Mike didn't play very well. He played laning phase. He played laning phase good, but outside of that, yeah, I read that in chat. Yeah, Mike's positioning in team fights is very bad, and there was one moment where he just walked into a bush blind for no reason when it could have had a Kate trap, and it did have a Rammus in it. So just very, very strange behavior of someone who has an ego and talks down to people in lower ranks than him. Really can't be making those mistakes. So now we're seeing role swap this game. So we're gonna see narrow mid lane and Lexi and Sharon bot lane together. Yeah. Yep. 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 Yep.
Hello, kind sir.
Hello.
How we doing on this fine eve?
We're chilling. I got a bevy, which I wasn't able to drink like at all last series because I was talking the entire time.
A little beveragino on the
True.
Friday night.
Yeah, Johnny read my
Yeah.
mind. We're starting the interview early.
That's crazy, bro. I'm just a little humble sub. I'm just a little humble sub.
True.
Len's here though.
Yeah, that's good.
All I'm gonna say is props to Daddy, dude. The second he saw that he was alive, he was like, wait, we gotta, we gotta be fair here. The game was about to start. Everybody said ready.
Yeah,
But he pumped the brakes on that real quick and got his boy in. So respect to Daddy for that.
true.
Competitive integrity and everything.
Yeah, true. You're not a fair sub for Len. That's all the
That's
haters are
more than
saying.
fair. I know, bro. Come on, the Jana Lulu player. Come on now.
Yeah, I got
I'm
no
playing
complaints
tough.
about it. But the streets say
Len,
different.
I know the streets be hating though.
The streets are hating.
Len's a demon, bro. I don't know why people are disrespecting this man.
Yeah, Len's one. I've seen Len 1v9 games plenty of times.
I might have also diffed him in the jungle in my series against him, but that's besides the point. Well, 20 kill Shaco never hurt nobody, but that's okay.
20 Jesus. I didn't
Did
know
you
it was
not
that
see that
bad.
game?
I heard about it. People were talking about it, and I didn't see it.
That was heat, bro. I just pick whatever I feel like on my team. It's great. You'll find out Sunday, bro. Yo, Johnny,
Oh, yeah.
Johnny, bro, you got me cheesing over here, bro. You gotta chill on that one.
Oh, he can't say number 180 carry because Mike would get mad if he said that.
You could have gave me a hashtag too. You know what I mean? I'd have taken it too. That's a smart man in Johnny right there. Doesn't want to tilt his ADC going into this game. He had a bad enough performance game one.
Oh yeah, he's definitely tilted. Holy. Did you see the time when Mike walked into a bush blind that had Rammus in it?
No, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I was so tunnel visioned on hitting minions that game and just keeping Joe off my tower. I didn't see what was going on until like post 20 minutes.
Oh, I know, I know. You're hard farming, but that's how you guys
Oh,
were able
yeah,
to come back.
yeah. That and a really good TP bot, I think, really helped.
Yeah, that closed it out, but there were a couple times where they overcommitted and overextended when the play was dead, and it allowed you guys to really come back.
Yeah, Daddy played really well that game too. He was right where he needed to be at all times, and he listened to me quite a lot. I was like, dude, you just roll in here. I press W, you're Mach 10 speed, and you're catching somebody. And that worked numerous times for us. So
Yeah, there were a couple times where it just looked like it was really hard. As picking Rammus that early is quite hard, as they really picked good champs into it, like the Mel, the Morgana, the Syndra, all
they
really
went
good.
triple, quadruple AP.
Yeah, yeah, they did.
That was a crazy comp from them. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But it was a good game regardless. I thought it was good. It could have gone either way for 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Excited for game 2.
For sure.
But I'm more excited for Deadlock after this series, bro. Low key, I haven't been able to touch that game in a couple weeks. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I haven't played it since we last played.
Maz, Daddy's team won game 1.
Yeah. I have it on this stream. TTK.
Maz can't read though.
That's true. Works for the government. You gotta make sure that he can't read. That's part of the prereqs for the job.
Waiting for that retirement to claim disability too. Team got better with that. Bro, we gotta relax, boys. We just a little humble cast, bro.
Damn. What is going on in chat?
All we can FF. Joe's had enough, bro. If Joe's putting his foot down, something's wrong.
W rage bait by blue side, honestly. Actually crazy rage bait.
I love Joe, dude. I said it to my team as we was going into game 1. He might be my favorite person in the rec league. Always a good guy. Always extremely kind. I love Joseph. Shout out Joe. You can calm this up. What do you think they need to ban this game, both teams?
Well, now that Mike's going to be back into AD carry role and Sharon's going to be playing support, I think you ban Sharon's picks. They're going to be banning like Leona, maybe Nautilus, maybe even Braum. Just going to make sure that they can't be on these supports that are going to enable the bot lane as much as possible. Talon ban?
It's away from Nero. Nero
Yeah.
went mid this thing.
That's true. I guess you can put Lexi on AP champs. That's true.
Yeah, Lexi's got a couple AP champs.
Yeah. I imagine they only banned the Talon. Corky banned away from Mike. Vex banned away from Johnny. I don't hate banning the Vex. Now that Nami's gone, I don't think the Corky's gonna be as much as a problem. Banning the Yasuo away from Nero as well. Nero
So
definitely plays a...
They might be worried about Lexi playing AP bot. And they're just trying to thwart that by banning Nero's best picks and taking a lot of the AD champs out of the pool. So I don't actually hate that strat.
Yeah.
I would love to see blue side ban Shen here.
Senna.
That works.
Yeah, just late scaling, AD carry. That Mike does play. Ban AD carries break Mike mental. Okay, man. There's the brand ban. I think that is Lexi's strongest or most comfortable bot laner, AP bot laner.
But yeah, I think it's a best AP bot laner for sure. But with the Nami band, I think a lot of the versatility of brand bot kind of dissipates not having that enchanter to stand beside it.
Yeah, the Nami really does benefit very. The brand benefits very heavily from the Nami. As Lucian gets locked in, Mike Lucian is not something I'm too confident in, but in Lucian Milio is a pretty strong lane. And they can definitely punish the weaker lane of Shron and Lexi. Just weaker purely on board.
Yeah, Lucian Milio. I mean, Fells Milio, very comfortable pick as well. Lucian on Mike, Mike on Lucian is a little less comfortable, but I mean, Lucian Milio as a pairing works extremely well, and it works well in the Nautilus too. Milio has so many tools to deal with Nautilus. Jin being super immobile, I think Lucian's actually going to have a really easy time with Milio double to be able to punish the Jin, especially being double ranged bot.
Yeah.
They just got to be careful at level 6 all in from Jin Nautilus. I mean, that's always scary, especially with an enchanter in the lane.
Yeah, they have a lot of utility, the two of them together, so we'd certainly set up their jungler for ganks. Instead, Nautilus isn't terrible together.
I like it. It helps. It definitely helps Sejuani lock in that E. It gives you a lot of frontline and a lot of CC in these two champions alone, which Jin benefits from extremely well. Being able to land these Ws extremely easy and be able to follow up with the ult. So I really like their first core 3 picks. I just think they need to find some objective damage on the back end of this. I would love to see something a little bit more scaling, maybe something like an Azir out of Nero, something along that line.
Yeah. As well as maybe a Bruiser in the top lane, as Bruisers plus Sejuani are
Mm-hmm.
always a great combo. As we
Yep,
see
I
the
agree.
Darius locked in, Darius could definitely be flex jungle here, as I don't think I've seen Joe play Darius before.
I'd agree. Joe might be picking this just in spite of my team's been fucking doing my head in, so I'm gonna pick something for fun. It's definitely in his wheelhouse of things he could play. Don't know how practiced he is on it, but I think you're right. I would most likely expect that to be a Darius jungle.
I'm unsure how good Darius jungle is right now. I remember it used to be good a long while ago, as
I
Fiora
think it's
and
good.
Yone get banned. Swain banned away from Johnny, so likely get to see another mid ban here. Moxie has been watching Beast Darius and yeah, that guy's he's a Darius jungle one trick that Mike randomly found and duoed with. I would not look up his account and reliably or confidently follow blindly what he has to show. Guys like 500 LP, that shows how bad this season is. Mauser are locked in.
Mike is locked in this season. I'm not gonna lie. He's not been around as much. He's just been slamming rank.
With his favorite person, Cheney.
That's a dynamic duo right there. I don't know if I like this Silas. How do you feel about the Silas?
Silas not good into Darius.
What
Into
about Akali?
Malzahar, Akali feels better, but I would have preferred a ranged mage. I think the
I
Zir's a good
still,
call out.
yeah, I still really think they need good objective damage because they have Jin and double tank.
Yeah,
Now they locked in Akali. They still, with everything showing, don't have great objective take, and I think they're really going to struggle in 5v5 around objectives.
yeah. Mundo, even tankier.
Another beefcake in the front line. Putting a lot of onus on Jin and Akali to carry this game.
Yeah.
I mean, Mundo does damage. Let's not forget that. Mundo does hurt if he's able to get, his core 3 items. He can become a bit of a problem. But into Mordekaiser, that's difficult.
Yeah. L Rage bait fits. The majority of Mundo's damage comes from his cleaver, which is magic damage. So that's why he is seen as doing primarily magic damage. He does definitely do physical damage because of his E, and he auto attacks a lot.
I'd say it's probably slightly more magic, but he definitely does a lot of physical damage. I'd say it's about 60% magic, 40% physical.
Yeah.
But how are you saying wrong?
Fits the Caitlyn one trick that struggling in Emerald is telling us which champs do what type of damage. It's like 70-30 AD.
Q
Okay, man.
does current health magic damage. W does magic damage. E's the only thing that's doing AD.
Heart steals most of his APD. Okay, that's rage bait.
70-30 AD. Yeah, this guy's dumb. Quick Google search, bro. Quick Google search will tell you.
Timeout. It's fits. 60 seconds. Take a break, little bro.
Yeah.
Boyce made it longer. I made a minute. He made it 10 minutes.
What about these? What about these comps?
In terms of team comps, Red Side is a lot more damage. I'm unsure. So Malzahar should definitely have a lot more prio early since he's really good shove. That's going to be one thing that Akali's going to struggle to surmount. The Mundo Mordekaiser lane, I feel like that'd be Mordekaiser favored, but not by a lot, right?
Mordekaiser Mundo, did you say?
Yeah.
It's Mordekaiser favored for sure. It's pretty rough for Mundo because Mundo really wants to build first item Heartsteel, and you can never get stacks off of Mordekaiser because you just lose.
Mm-hmm.
You proc the passive with E and then you ult and Mundo just dies regardless of anything. So it's really hard to get Heartsteel stacks, and your second item with Mundo is always going to be Warmogs pretty much. So it's super hard to build into a Mordekaiser and be able to stay alive as Mundo because he has those 2 core items, which just makes it extremely hard for him to play. That's the main reason it's Mordekaiser favorite. But yeah, I think once Mundo gets 3 items, he could definitely play into a Mordekaiser. But it's a difficult lane. It's a good pick from Joe to navigate playing into this Mundo and really nullify his ability to be able to sit in a side lane and just split push all game.
Yeah.
Which I think was Len's initial plan. Looking at the enemy team, they really didn't have somebody that would have been able to match him until the Mordekaiser came out.
Mm-hmm. It's also interesting seeing the team come with Mordekaiser and Malzahar both in it. Just being able to lock down one specific target is going to be incredibly important, as just being able to Mordekaiser ult or Malzahar ult the Akali out of the fight, and Red Side slowly being able to take down the front line of Blue Side. Looks like a good path for Red Side to secure a win.
Yeah, I just hope the Blue Side play that comp correctly. They have a very front-to-back comp with this triple tank in the front line. They just need to deny any access that Darius might have to the back line. I think Darius is the only one that's going to be capable of running to the back line with this Ghost. I think Lucian's too short range to be able to access, and Malzahar tends to fight on the back foot with his ultimate. So I think it's going to be extremely difficult for Red Side, if Blue Side play their comp correctly, to be able to have access to Jin and Akali. Akali's a little different. That's a melee champ.
Yeah.
Minions have spawned.
Oh no, what's Len saying?
He's dumb as hell, bro. That's what he said. Too tired as the number 2. Wrap it up, bro. EU education right there, making us British boys look dumb.
Fucking Len. Knock you a little bit wide. Already a bad trade for the Jin.
Yeah, this really isn't a lane that you're going to be able to trade into like that, especially with the 2 shields that Milio gets. It's just so difficult for them to trade, especially if they miss hook. Even if they hit hook, I think they lose the trade.
Yeah, they really should not be looking to Nautilus hook a little bit short again. Yeah, they really should not be looking to trade here, especially when Jin just walks up in 4th shots, just slowing Lucian to get some free fire onto him. But I'm really scared for levels 2 and 3, as that's when Lucian gets the mobility to really punish mispositioning. Makes
I'm
sense.
interested to see this Akali in the Malzahar lane.
Yeah. I'll just queue a little bit wide again, and Lucian nearly takes down the Jin, but the Jin's going to be able to pop that barrier in exchange for both the Lucian sums.
Yeah, that's double summons coming out of Lucian makes him extremely susceptible to these ganks, and if Sejuani Nautilus can get onto him, he'll die, with or without Milio. So I don't know if I agree with trying to get that first blood, expending both summoners there, but if he got it, it would have been a different conversation. So
Yeah, I like the aggression, but blowing the flash there doesn't seem fully worth it. Yeah, interesting seeing that both junglers ended up pathing top to bot this game. Makes a lot of sense as the Lucian, as there is a bit of a mismatch in terms of supports, melee into ranged, so there should be a bit of volatility in the lane, especially when there's not a lot of damage coming out of the top lane.
yeah, I'm interested to see the thought process behind this Akali, because it was picked into the Malzahar, right? It was a conscious decision.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what he knows that I don't.
Nice hook from the Nautilus onto the Milio, but the Milio is just going to be able to negate the majority of the damage as the Lucian trades back onto the Jim, already looking so incredibly one-sided.
Yeah, again, they just don't want to be looking for any type of trade in this lane. You need Sejuani to be able to relinquish any. Lucian Milio is way too strong.
Nice hook from the Nautilus on the Lucian. The Jin W a little bit wide. Ignite pop from Nautilus. Lucian's just able to walk away. Darius living and sewing onto this Akali. The Akali getting quite low. Just barely able to get out of there. Yeah, the only reason I can see the Akali being a worthwhile pick is her Q can kill all the Malzahar minions, but I feel like you could have just picked something like Smolder here and you just scale incredibly well.
Yeah, I think he knows he needed to kind of play more AP. I just don't know if I agree with picking melee into Malzahar. But I don't know. Maybe level 6 things change. Maybe level 7 things change. I don't know. I'm not an Akali player. I'm not a Malzahar player. I'm not a mid lane player, so he probably has a better grasp on things than I do. And he's CSing well into it, so it's fine. Len, on the other hand, not CSing very well into this Mordekaiser.
Yeah, just woke up after his 1v9 Kale performance.
Yeah, he played well last game.
True.
W rage.
Oh
If I
man,
speak, I'm in big trouble.
every time I see Joshua give and throw a hook, it's just, oh no, man, I'm so sad.
Yeah, I get so scared every time a Nautilus hook comes out.
Yeah. I am being nice. Josh, he's not playing very well this game, unfortunately. The Sejuani is going to flash Q onto the Milia. Milia does have flash if she decides it's necessary. The Jhin 4th shot is going to be able to actually net the kill there. Lucian should take down the Jhin with his Ignite, and Darius here popping Ghost, looking for a kill into the Sejuani. Very low health bars out of the Lucian and the
Big
Milio.
Joshy!
Joshi gets almost a double kill, but the Darius is likely going to get a second kill for his time. Quite low. Ah! Barely takes him down.
Unfortunate. And Mike's death isn't even bad. You died to the Nautilus. You had no sums anyway, so you really didn't burn anything.
Yeah. And you get the Nautilus flash as well.
Yeah, Nautilus flashed for a kill on the ADC after their ADC already died. It doesn't do anything really to the game. Mike's happy because he got a faster reset. Honestly.
Yeah. It's going to make the Nautilus even more vulnerable if he has a poor Q thrown out as well.
But it looked cool.
It did look cool. Interesting seeing it looks like the Darius is going to be building towards Yomu's first item as his form of engage.
I don't hate it. I think it's really going to help him gank. So, I'm really upset to see Jin's health bar go down so quick this game.
Yeah. It's a rough one.
Oh, nice hook this time from Josh, though.
Hey, got the Lucian right on the turret. Does it lead to a kill? The Nautilus Ignite is ticking down. Milia's trying to keep him up as much as he possibly can. Really good blocking. Unfortunately, now the Nautilus... That's a good block.
Oh, and Lexi got really greedy to try and kill Mike. If she just W'd the Milio as a follow-up on Nautilus, Milio would have died. And we see Darius wrapping the Jhin here. It's just bad to worse.
Nautilus cancels his recall to try and save the Jhin. And he's just gonna walk away. Goodbye, Jhin. Bye, Lexi.
Oh, no. Oh. That's unfortunate. That was a really good hook from Josh to get him under this turret. But Lexi wasn't quite aware of what Josh was looking for there.
And there's a Malzahar ult under turret onto the Collie.
Lucian and Milio really need all this help.
Yeah. And Mike's going the lethality Lucian build. Hubris first item.
He loves Hubris.
And Mordekaiser pops ult onto the Mundo pops ult in exchange, but oh, dodges the Mordekaiser Q. And someone's gonna have to flash out, but he does live. As the Mordekaiser.
Yeah, really good sidestep from Len there. Really good.
Darius trying to walk through lane. Milio checking to see if there's any wards in here, but there's only one spotted. Just barely able to sneak in here. So once the lane neutralizes, they should be able to look to punish.
Darius just sitting in the wings here.
Looking on this edge, but the edge is able to barely avoid that Darius E.
Moxie and turning the heat up, dude. Look at the enemy team calling out 10.
Nice hook from the Nautilus on the Lucian. Is this gonna net anything? No. Potentially Nautilus's life. Looks like no. Looks like Lucian misclicked there, as I believe he did have his passive up.
He also had an ult up. If he just ulted, he would have been dead.
Save the mana for it?
I think he would have if he didn't push his W.
That is true.
That's all hindsight. Getting Nautilus out the lane is just as good as killing him, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, Red Side was able to secure the first shard of the game. That being Ocean Drag, especially good. I'd probably say it's the best first shard in the game. You're up 3k gold, and Blue Side is now taking the grubs. They have 2, should be all 3, as Darius is going to be cycling his camps. Lucian Milio looking for something here, but the Nautilus is going to spot it out with the sweeper. Hook a little bit wide onto the Milio.
And the problem is here, Sejuani and Darius are on the same, not the same tempo, but for the vast majority of this early game, they've been on the same tempo where they find themselves ganking at the same time. Hold that for a second while we see fucking...
Did you see what I just saw?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mordekaiser unfortunately didn't realize that he didn't break Mundo's passive, so Mundo is not going to be sent to the Shadow Realm.
I was gonna say, I was like, isn't he supposed to be in the Shadow Realm right now?
Yeah, quite unfortunate there for the Mordekaiser. But a nice
yeah, like
kill.
I was saying, this early game here has been rough for Sejuani because she found herself on the same tempo as Darius, so they would show up in the bot lane at the same time, and it just favors Red Side so much more. So unironically, Sejuani being behind on camps right now is going to help the team in that regard because it puts her off the same tempo as Darius and might actually give them an angle to be able to find a gank in the bot lane where Darius isn't present.
Now Sejuani going to realize that Darius took her bot camps. But unfortunately, the Jhin is looking for a reset now, so Sejuani should also be looking for a reset at the same time. Maybe look for a top gank again? But this Jhin and Nautilus have just been stuck under turret all game.
Yeah, and Darius, I mean, he's had all his camps up for a while now, but because he took... We are going to see an engage here, and actually Milio taking a lot of damage from the turret is going to get hit by the Jhin W, but sadly 2v2 is not going to amount to anything.
Yeah, really good positioning for the Milio to block all of the abilities from blue side, as Darius is going to be running straight at this Jhin. He's not able to get away.
And again, Darius has been in this lane for so long now, and he's had so many camps up, but he doesn't care to drop them because he was able to take Dedi's bot side camps. So he does not care that his camps have been up, and he's not afraid of Sejuani counter jungle. So really smart of him to just invest like the past 2 minutes sitting in these bot side bushes. I'm not even kidding, like he's been around 2 minutes. He's so far ahead that he's able to do that. Most junglers wouldn't. Most junglers would see their camps up and just sit on them. Not Moxian, dude. Moxian's got a point to prove.
Oh, he's winning this game.
He's winning this one. He doesn't care what bridges he burns to get there either. His relationship with Lexi's on the ropes after this one. Len able to find some stability in this lane though. With having this Warmogs, he's able to just trade consistently. Is gonna catch a gank from the Moxian though. Hasn't expected this one.
Mundo does have ult and flash. Pops ult immediately. Darius pops Ghost, should be able to catch up to the Mundo pretty easily. Is able to hit that hole and is taken down. Nice hook onto the Milio. Again, the Lucian is quite strong. Kali's looking for a flank with the Sejuani onto the Lucian and Milio. They both have flashes up. Millie's going to flash out to ensure that she's just going to take it down. Nice hook from the Nautilus onto the Lucian, but again, I don't think it's really going to net anything here as the Malzahar is here just in time. Pops ult onto the Sejuani, and they're going to see a Milio ult popped as well. And now it's going to be a 3v3. Lucian gets hit by the Akali. Maybe Akali looks for something. Yes, she does go in after popping ult on the Lucian. The Lucian's a little bit too far forward. Seems very reminiscent of his Cinder game as well, and the Milio gets taken down as well. Maybe looking for something onto this Malzahar, able to avoid all those Jhin ults, unfortunately. Oh, here
I
comes
don't
the
know. I think
Darius.
that play looks better if Lexi opens her eyes. But this Darius, dude,
There.
he's here.
Oh,
really
Jin W
good
a little bit
hook,
wide, but yeah, nice hook. And I mean, that's the way back into the game.
That's the way. This Akali is actually looking pretty good.
Yeah, in lane into the Malzahar, it definitely doesn't seem fantastic. Like, it can match push a little bit as the Jin gets taken by the Malzahar's E. And Mordekaiser is trying to take down this Mundo. It's going to take him a while, but eventually he will fall.
Yeah, and that's pretty reminiscent of what I was talking about in Champ Select. Mordekaiser has that Rylai's now too, so it's so difficult. If that passive's ever procced, Mordekaiser's just going to ult and kill him. Ult or no ult, it's just super strong, especially because he has the Oblivion Orb too. Sorry, a little hiccup right there. Wait, what are people talking about in the chat, dude?
What
happened?
Fitz has gotten in trouble for saying, a certain ultimate spell missing and hitting someone's window.
Be alright?
Yeah, it'll be fine. But yeah, again, I think this Akali's been looking really nice when she's able to rotate out of this lane as the matchup is...
Good sidebar.
There's a lot of... Malzahar push is really hard to match. And Akali forced under a turret the majority of the game is really not going to be able to play to her strengths, as Lucian's turret narrowly takes down Blue Side's tier 1 bot turret. That said, Darius is going to be taking down the second drag of the game, and Nautilus spots the Malzahar. Q's into one of his little minions. Doesn't pop ult. Thinking about it, though.
Hit to secure that tier 1 and make sure that Dragon gets finished in due time. 2 turrets now going to the way of red side. 2 dragons also. And just strangling this Jhin. This Jhin just hasn't had any room to breathe.
They're down nearly 60 plus CS. Really struggling.
And found himself caught in the Rylai's. Sadly not going to be able to walk this one out, big dog. Or not.
Oh, dodge the Mordekaiser Q. Sedge ult, gonna save him for a little bit, but Mordekaiser just have ult, and is end up gonna pop it onto the Sejuani and takes her down, winning that 1v2.
Yeah, that's kind of solidified the side lane as well, at least for the next 20 minutes, which makes this game a lot harder with Mundo being as far behind as he is. 6k gold lead now for Champ Ocean. Chiron, a little frustrated, dude, throwing a couple of abilities out. Might be alone, but not acting like it.
He's got the confidence, unfortunately no members nearby.
Moxian still just taking everything from this Sejuani.
Oh yeah, Mundo down 2 levels on this Mordekaiser, and Mordekaiser just gets to have his way with him and heals back a significant portion of his health that he lost in that trade. Baron spawning in 30 seconds, next drag in 3 minutes. Sejuani flashes forward onto the Amelia, but the Amelia's going to be able to flash away along with the Lucian. Jhin ult hits most of them. Cloud's looking for something onto the Amelia, going further and further. Is able to secure that kill. The Sejuani taking this turret though, and the Darius is here just in time. Up 3 levels on him now.
Oh.
Mordekaiser is right where he should be. Messing with his favorite top laner. And Mundo's gonna have to flash away to ensure he doesn't get taken down, but the Mordekaiser flash Q secures that kill, and the Nautilus flashes out to survive, which is a little bit longer. The Lucian likely to go forward as he does. Nautilus Q dodged, and another kill going over to red side as they go to about an 8k, down near Yeah, 8k gold lead.
Bit of a night and day difference from Champos in this game.
Yeah, their lanes are a lot stronger. Last game, they definitely had strong lanes, but they didn't have lanes that could really punish like this Lucian and Milio can. As the Mel and Morg were able to secure a nice foothold in the game, Sejuani is running away from her jungle. Yeah, a lot more of an aggressive team comp this time from Champ Ocean.
I think Red Side too have done such a good job at shutting down the potential carries of this game. In comparison to last game, they know they have triple B front line, and then they kind of have Jin outputting a lot of damage on the back line, and Akali's always going to be Malzahar's ult target this game. So all they really needed to do was shut down Jin. I think they recognized that pretty early, and they've done that, so...
Yeah, Mordekaiser is going to take him down. Eventually Mordekaiser will fall. To who? Goes the Jin. Kali really wanted Jin to have that, as Jin is quite far
Big
behind.
shutdown, let's go!
And Mundo's trying to TP away, is gonna get this Malzahar ult, as well as the Darius ult.
He's too tired, he's too tired. He just woke up from slumber, he needs a warm-up game.
Yeah, he can only carry so many games. That Kale performance is too much. As Jin is
Zero, though.
secure that kill onto the Milio. And Akali taking down the Lucian.
Yeah, if there's anything to highlight this game, it's definitely that Akali's played extremely well. Nero never played this safe on my team. What's going on?
Yes.
0 deaths at 22 minutes.
CSing's really good. Always able to get to the targets he needs to. And I'm curious to see what he builds next. I would guess Zonya's.
I'd like to see a Zonya set. I think he knows he's going to be the ult target. I wouldn't even hate a QSS. Oh no.
Mordekaiser beating the hell out of the Sejuani and the Jin, and they are the first ones to fall. The colleagues trying to run as fast as possible away, but the Mordekaiser slow is going to make it so hard. As he gets taken down, a triple kill over to the Mordekaiser. Quadra kill. Oh no.
That's Big Joseph! That's Big Joseph right there, dude. That's my dog. Oh, I love to see him succeed. I love to see it. And that's unfortunate. You know, they had no damage to take this dragon. Dragon took so long, and this is what I was talking about in Champ Select. They have no objective damage. Like, at all. They were on a Chemtech dragon, third dragon, for ages, and it gave them so much time for Red Side to be able to get in position and turn that fight. This is just what happens when you have Jin and Akali. Akali wasn't even on the dragon, but, you know, they have no damage. That was a rough watch.
Yeah, Darius up 4 levels now. This game is certainly going from bad to worse.
And I think in this current meta as well, you need to have a team comp that works and functions, especially in 5v5 competitive play, that functions well around objectives. You know, dragons are super important this season. You know, grubs, herald, you name it. They're all off tempo from each of us, so you can challenge every objective. So it's so important to be able to take these objectives quick. Blue side just don't have a comp for that.
Malzahar pops his ult onto the Nautilus as the Nautilus again goes way too far forward. Has the confidence, but again, no teammates nearby. The Bakali's looking for a kill onto the Mordekaiser, but he does have the Milio ult and W still, so the Kali is going to have to run away. And still falls. As we're going to see the Jin Flash coming out. And they're just getting ran down as they're getting beat to death by the wall. So they're down 11k as the Darius is going to be chasing down the Mundo and the Jin. As Jin is trying to get out of here. The barrier likely should allow him to survive, but the Darius barely able to pull her back. And he wants more. But the rest of the team is going to be playing for mid.
Batten down the hatches at this point. Probably just going to take Inhibitor back, go for Baron, and then look to solidify the game with Baron. Joe's having one heck of a game.
Yeah.
He just can't. He can't be stuck. Nobody can kill this guy.
It's not even
Yeah,
like
you
the
know,
jungler influenced his lane really. It was pretty much just a 1v1 lane the majority of the time. If there was ever anyone else in the lane, it was the enemy jungle, the Sejuani.
yeah, there was only one notable gank from the Darius, which was relatively early on. Oh my days!
Mike is...
Michael! Oh no, Lexi.
Mordekaiser ulting the Jhin, he's up 5 levels, he flashes forward onto the Jhin, then knowing that Jhin doesn't have any sums, so he's just going to be able to kill her under the tower. Likely going to fall to the Sejuani, and the Sejuani does get the shutdown, which is totally fine.
Yeah, who cares giving the shutdown to Sejuani? Really not going to change the game. And this is what I was talking about. Look at the stacks on this Mundo. 28 Heartsteel stacks. He knows he hasn't been able to hit him the entire game. He went for Warmogs first. It's just been a super rough lane for him, and he's super far behind on stacks, XP, gold.
Nice kill from the Akali onto the Milio. Darius potentially going to get taken down next. The Darius barely is able to get out of there, all while the Akali gets taken down to the Malzahar. And Nautilus gets ulted by the Malzahar.
Once Akali dies, again we're back to no damage. Sadly, Jin's stuck in the base doing cleanup duty.
Yeah, that was very clearly a bluff by Blue Side to try and take that Baron, as they only had the Akali to really do damage to the Baron. And it looked like it was going good for a second, but Red Side's wallets are just so much bigger. And they are able to take down Baron.
Akali is super strong though. Nothing to snuff at all. These squishy targets on red side, Champ Ocean, you know, Lucian, Milio, and even the Malzahar, I'd argue, are susceptible to die. I mean, if Akali could pick up this 700 gold shutdown on Malzahar and somehow they prevent this Chemtech Soul, I don't see it happening. It's a 13k gold difference, but you know, one can hope. Oof.
Mordekaiser ult onto the Akali. The Akali's stuck in shrouds, so he's not going to be able to see her, and she's able to get over the wall, but is incredibly low. Should be able to use this blast cone to get away, but the Lucian's going to be jumping after her. Motion seconds, yeah. The reason why this happens is because the game ended. So I don't want to close the client because I don't know if it's going to kill spectator. Mordekaiser casually 1v4ing. There's the team going to be able to join him and secure that triple kill over the Lucian.
Ooh.
Barely able to take down the Mundo.
Mike gets a quadra kill at the end there. Mike really buffed that KD up. Very night and day difference from Champ Ocean though. A lot cleaner this game, execution-wise. I'd argue comp-wise too. They had stronger lanes.
Always
Joe
looking for
getting
something
counter
here.
pick was huge.
But yeah, red side almost up 20k. And why not? Give Joe some more kills.
Get the boy some love, dude.
We're gonna take down the Nautilus. And game 2 is gonna go over to Champion Ocean, so that's gonna be a 1-1 series. Both games more or less decided by top lane. Interestingly enough. But the Darius definitely prioed bot lane quite heavily to ensure that the Jhin had no chance of being able to really play this game.
Look at Joseph's damage!
Yeah, that's big numbers. He did double
redeem
Mike's
him.
damage. My goodness. It was probably Joe MVP game too.
I don't think anyone would argue that.
Very nice. We can probably get him in the booth if he's around. He should see it. Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm here for my MVP speech.
And you're muted. You're muted. Alright, we can't hear. The stream will not be able to hear Mike. So if Joe wants to join the booth, feel free. If not, we can end it here.
Oh, let him speak, bro. Let him speak. He's got some things to say.
Little bro ran
Let him
it
air it
down. No,
Let
no,
him air
no.
it out.
Let him air it out.
I
Alright,
hate
make
that
it
mic.
quick.
Make it quick. Fuck
Yeah,
you,
make it
bro. I
quick.
earned this.
Alright, you're muted.
You
Nice
say
try,
you
little
earned
cup.
it?
He said he earned it. Nah.
Bro, come on now.
Go fodder
You
review,
gotta
mate.
give Joe his flowers. You gotta give Joe his flowers.
Yeah. It should be Joe in the booth, for sure. Yeah, go.
Hey,
Go.
let's talk about game one though. Let's talk about game one. What happened game one? At least run me through that, because you guys look night and day difference. Talk to me about game one.
I don't know. I was playing a role. I was auto-filled, you know. Don't really like mid
Auto-filled.
anymore. It's pretty boring. Felt like I played an autofill rank game after a 13-hour shift of work, bro. It was not really fun.
You walked into a bush after you knew Rammus was in it as
I'm aware.
Syndra.
I'm aware.
At least you're taking accountability.
Game
What
one.
adjustments did you make going into game two to be able to spin
you know.
back like you did?
Game two, we decided playing the roles that we've practiced for the last like month and a half was better, and you know, kind of helped a little bit.
And letting Joe get counter pick rather than second picking Sion. Whose decision was that?
We still gotta talk about that one, you know.
Yeah, especially in a lane where, let's be honest, Joe performs so much better if he can make it scrappy. And the second you lock in Sion and you just give a free lane to a hard carry like
Oh,
that,
yeah.
he's
Well, we know. Joe was literally said he was so depressed.
good. Good.
That's
I did
crazy.
my job though.
He said Kale makes Sion homeless, and that's exactly what happened. And then a special shout out to the #1 top player in the league being replaced, and then fucking going 1-7. Tough.
Damn. That's not
I
very
just had
friendly.
I just had to throw that one in there. Some people were upset.
That's competitive
Oh.
banter. That's competitive banter.
People were upset. I wonder which people.
I'm not gonna name
Please.
you, Nick.
Please share what people. No, you guys played really well game two. Across the board, you guys played well. I mean,
You know what
shout
I
out
learned
to
this
Moxie.
season, man? We're here to have some fun, dude.
good.
You
Good.
sure?
I'm glad you're taking that approach.
Yes. We're here to have some fun, dude. I don't give a fuck. I hope both teams had fun.
I know that our team had fun game one, bro.
That's good.
A lot of inaudible yelling, a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. You know,
That's what it's all about, dude. That's why we're here.
Exactly.
But anyways, thanks for casting, boys. Honorable MVP, we'll give it to Jake.
Yeah, I'm a sub. You can't, bro.
Yeah, you
Pick
can't do
someone
that.
else.
Just say Sharon.
Yeah, we'll give it to Sharon for using
Those Nautilus
Nautilus on the
Qs.
cooldown.
Yeah, that was really
Yeah,
good.
damn.
He sure hooked those minions.
Bro.
Well, thanks. Thanks for playing.
Johnny's comm was, I think they're coming mid, and then I just got fucking ulted by everybody. I'm like, yeah, it seems like a good comm.
Good comms.
Yeah.
Thanks for the game, dude. It was fun to play and fun to watch.
GG's,
Cast.
boys.
Thanks for playing. Thanks for watching. Next series. Is it the Sunday game?
Probably.
Yeah, it might be our game, bro. It is our game. On the docket. Mong Mentality versus 14 Beers.
Is
W.
14 Beers Kiwi's team?
No, it's Scott's team.
It should be
yeah, that makes
Kiwi's
sense.
team.
Yeah, it's Scott's team, so they might have a sub for a mid. It's to be determined, but everybody else should be there.
W.
Well,
Alright.
good luck in your games, boys.
See you
I'll
guys
catch you later.
Sunday. See ya, see
Thank
ya.
you. Bye bye.